Welcome to Innovation Station.
Yeah, sick. All right. Who wants to go first?
This week I'll be talking about the Meeting Insights agent. So just a bit of background. Everyone has like that. I mean, everyone uses a different thing, but there's like a bot sitting in the corner, recording the call, transcribing the notes and everything. And it'll also have a summary, maybe some action points. But personally, I don't really know what to do with all that. I guess that was the idea behind this tool, right? Um, Essentially, post either the notes, the transcripts, the action points, whatever you have, and it will come up with a sort of post meeting debrief report with sources. I um, I went and got a sample meeting transcript here. I just press submit. It just takes like a minute or two. Here it made a report that has resources and sort of um, per point summaries and in depth uh, like a debrief report on all the things that we need to consider or we can consider when like doing our own research. So that's the
Lead
tool.
magnet for this week was this thing, a free tier of the data analyst tool. It can plot. You can ask it to graph things. You can ask it to plot statistics. Should be fun to play around. Let me ask it plot how many customers there are. Please give it a while. So it's thinking. Well, it plotted how many customers there are per country. That's weird. But I guess that's a reasonable middle ground from plotting all, like the single number of how many customers there are. Could be fixed with prompting, but yeah. I have a meeting. Give me, so yeah, 4 points to arm yourself with. You could even pick one of these points and plot it.
Interesting. I wonder where we can take this next. I mean, obviously, we're looking at the HubSpot data, which is, I think, a clear use case.
So for this innovation station, I built a YouTube video summarizer. Most of the time, video is too long and you want to watch it, but you don't want to actually hear the whole typical YouTuber jargon, and you want to get to the key point of the video and get all of the insights from the video. So in that case, all you have to do is simply copy the YouTube video URL and paste it in here in our tool, and this will generate a summary for you. It will start summarizing this. So I'm using OpenAI's latest model of GPT 4.1 mini, and it has a context window of more than a million tokens. So it is really good in summarizing the whole podcast, even though it is 4 or 5 hours long. And so this one is one of the live by OpenAI, where they introduced operator and agents. And here is how the summary looks like for that. So the problem that I have is, I have these schedules that I want to get on my device quickly, that I don't need to create an app, create an event. Like for example, here you need to create the event, you need to add the title, the time, the date, whatever. Okay, so for this one, I wanted to just put a text or maybe an image if it's like a picture of a poster that has an event. And let's test it out with multiple use cases.
So Gumloop has built-in integrations for Reddit, Twitter, Blue Sky, etc. So I wanted to use the Reddit scraper. So I just gave it a direct subreddit of OpenAI, asked it to like analyze 30 latest posts and give me the outputs of like the titles, URL, post content, etc. Then what I did was this is a, by the way, tutorial that Gumloop hosts and also a template that they give. So I merged like two different sources and In parallel, what I'm doing is I'm also saving everything, the post title, post URL, post content in a Google Sheet so that I can review everything separately as well. So on the left side, you see the email that I got from Gumloop. On the right side, you can see that we have the post title, URL, and the post
I
content.
built our careers page yesterday. A lot of jobs pages, they're hosted through a separate platform. Breezy HR is one, like Lever's another one. There's a ton of them out there, and they are really expensive, like way more expensive than they should be just to host jobs. So I've seen a bunch of folks just create like Notion pages with their jobs on, and I think the reason they're doing that is because you don't want to pay $200 a month to a jobs hosting provider because you don't need to, right? And so I thought, can we build one that is branded like ours and actually hooks into Airtable? And so I created an Airtable base with a list of jobs in. We can add any job we want in here. It will pull from the Airtable API and populate this. And then applicants will come in here too. And just by coming in here, we can open up the position. We'll have a list of positions here. We can apply for the position, enter information. All of that gets saved into Airtable when someone hits the application, and then it also comes into Slack in a hiring channel. I also started on having pulling the transcript of the Loom video and having AI do an initial score based on that Loom transcript. So pretty straightforward, but gives us a careers page from scratch that we don't need to pay $200 a month for, and effectively built it using Replit agent yesterday, and it took about 25 minutes. So super fast.
On the heels of the O3 launch, one of the things that I found super interesting was, we talked about it earlier, the quality of the ability for O3 to analyze image content. I've been trying it, and I saw a trend on social media where people were uploading pictures of themselves inside like a random bar somewhere in the world. You can upload it to O3 and say, hey, tell me where this picture was taken. And with a shocking degree of accuracy, it can literally pinpoint things like the bar top has these details on it and there's some trees outside, and it'll basically spot that thing. It's insane. It's actually one of the craziest things that I've seen. So what that inspired me to do was to give a shot at something that historically has been really challenging, which is we've now reached a point that image generation is really hard to tell between what's real and what's created with AI. So what I tried to do was see, could I create a tool that would actually be able to accurately assess whether an image was generated with AI or not. So what I did was I downloaded 3 images today from Midjourney, actually. So we'll do this first one. It's a guy in a desert, and you just upload the image, click analyze, and then it'll take about 15-20 seconds usually to do an analysis of the image. What I've noticed with O3 that the other models do differently is it starts to actually go in and analyze really specific portions of the image. The other one would do like a general analysis of the image as a whole. This will actually crop and look at very specific elements, and it'll compare things like, you know, the pores on someone's face, and down to a pixel level, whether there's some oddities or unnatural symmetry, for example, that you wouldn't see in a normal camera. It'll look at things like lighting, whether the bounce of the lighting is actually reflective of what you'd see when using a normal camera. And so far, it's been pretty incredible what it's been able to do. So this one right here, we just got our result, and you can see that it gives us a score. So it says 75% AI likelihood. I did that by design because I think realistically it's not going to be possible to definitively tell with 100% certainty that something's been created by AI. But when you look at some of the explanation, you can see things that says as it goes through some of the very specific elements. One other thing I'd note that is really interesting that I want to play around with more is when you upload images directly to OpenAI's interface, web interface, and ask it to identify whether something was created with AI, it's different than what happens when you use the API. So there's clearly some sort of internal logic that they've put into the interface that's having it take extra steps, that's having it do very specific actions.
Sweet. All right, thanks everybody. Good work.